What is happening, guys? Welcome back to Scottish Football Weekly, brought to you by Wireless. This weekend seen Celtic retain the Scottish Premiership title as they were crowned champions of Scotland for the 53rd time. In reality, guys, it's been a matter of when, not if, since February time.
Since September.
Since September. I don't know if I got that far. 2019. Obviously, it's Celtic's second trophy of the season. A third one up for grabs. We'll obviously get into the nitty gritty in a wee bit. But I'm joined this evening by Ben, Connor, and Craig. How we doing, lads?
The OG panel, innit?
That's it.
Back to the Qatar shouts, the Ecuador shouts.
Right. Oh, the forfeits. That's just, as soon as you said that, the forfeits. Stay tuned. That's what I'm saying.
It's coming real
I've
soon,
already
man.
got my forfeit sorted, didn't I? That's a secret.
So we've no announced what yours is yet, because when people turn up to watch us play against
the Scottish YouTube team. July the 1st at Renfrew Junior Stadium, you'll see me put it tap bins, him probably hit it out of the bar, score a header, him score a header, him get 3 red cards, but it gets rescinded because he's Jamie Welsh.
Yeah, you done?
I mean, I'll take Scotland header. You know, I'm manifesting it.
And you ought. Nah, I'm legit.
So you can keep up to date with all the announcements that we've got coming out about the match against Scottish YouTube team on our Instagram. We'll drop a link to that just down here. Do you want to? Just down there. So we'll drop a wee link to that in there, and you can keep up to date with all things related to the charity match. And also for any of you football memorabilia fans that are into collecting all your collectibles, head over to @IG Collections _98 for programs, shirts, and more. What's your favourite strip on there?
Look-wise, St Mirren.
I've got to go with it, but look at the sponsor, man.
Aye.
Look at this sponsor.
They tops are
the
almost
main sponsor in the middle.
Odge ID.
They're all minging, man. They're all minging.
If you had to wear one of those, if you had to buy one of those, what would you buy?
He's going to say none, isn't he?
No, if you had to buy,
I would probably go with the St Mirren.
Much are they, do you think?
Well, what you can see
Because
here,
I'd put 65 quid on green.
IG Collections.
IG Collections, indeed.
IG Collections.
But what would you?
98.
What would you pick if you had to pick one strip to wear? What would you go for?
St Mirren, probably.
Go with St Mirren. You the same?
Aye.
Go with St Mirren.
St Mirren. I don't think I'm getting into the St Mirren tap, but I'll
Mate, I don't know why.
What size
I
is it?
really like the Hearts tap. I think it's nice. That's the kind of kits I like. But playing,
you stick that on,
nice.
and you're just Ian Black's wee boy.
Do you think?
Aye.
Just what? Oh no, Cammy Devlin.
No.
You're like Andy Halliday a wee bit, to be fair.
Oh wow.
He's got a better
I'll take
hair,
that, by the way. Andy
better
Hart.
facial features,
Thanks,
better
mate.
footballer.
And look, he's living a lovely life.
Aye, Andy Halliday's
Unbelievable.
handsome.
Andy
mate,
won
I'll take
Celtic a league.
And he's on the second best podcast in the world though.
True.
that. Go.
Very true.
We're just gonna be getting
I was
messages
actually
for
talking about Jamie there when I was getting on the compliments, no Andy.
Aye, exactly.
Andy,
Well, before we
Andy.
get into the recap, let me kick us off with the wee segment of the show we like to call
The big 3 points.
3 points.
Oh, mate,
each
I forgot
episode-
this was a thing.
Each episode, I'll be coming up with a player, giving you 3 clues, and you've got 3 guesses to pick out the player. If you guess the player correctly, you win yourself the big 3 points. If nobody gets the player after the 3 points have been given, ultimately everybody forfeits those said points. The player with the lowest number of points at the end of the season will do a forfeit picked out by you guys as the listeners on a poll over on Instagram. Head over to @wirelesspod to get involved. Throw it in there again. And if you're new around here, don't forget to like and subscribe this video. Subscribe to the channel and like this video.
Yes.
So, who
Shit.
wants the big first the big first point? The first big point.
Yes, of course. Give me that.
I want to know how big it is.
It's massive.
Well, it's a leadable stands actually. Me,
Oh,
you, and the
shall
2
we?
cows are on 6 points.
Do you know what I'm on?
That's unbelievable.
A big fat 0.
No point.
Have you not got one
Troy
yet?
James will not like that.
No, this season anyway. I did on the World Cup one, I'm sure. I've not been on the pod because people hate me.
Right, okay, first big point. I started my career at Manchester City. Don't
Jeremy Frimpong.
No, good shout, but
Great shout.
not everybody speak at once.
Let's think. Do I think out loud? Come on.
Brandon Barker.
Not Brandon Barker. I don't actually know where he started, but I think that might have been Man City as well, by the way. But
Yeah.
2 good shouts.
So just somebody who played in the SPFL, who started at Man City. He's already been said. I was going to say Aaron Moy. Is it Aaron Moy?
It's not Aaron Moy.
Right.
See, that's my guess.
Aye, you
If
see.
he started City, surely no,
I
he's
don't think so.
Australian.
I think he started
I
at.
thought he started at City.
I don't. Maybe he did. I don't know, but I doubt it because he's, like you say, he's Australian. But anyway,
The minute I seen your face, I thought, do you know what? That's your guess, so I'm going to say it.
Cheers, mate.
moving
Yeah.
on. Celtic obviously crowned the champions. Celtic 2, Hearts 0. How do you see it?
You on your score, man.
Start of the game, Hearts were unbelievable. They could have probably had 2 goals easily. Celtic started slow. I feel like we've been doing that for the last couple of weeks, to be fair. Starting extremely slow, but aye, that's what it is. Champions again. Ole, ole.
I think before Hearts get their sending off, I actually thought they were the better team.
There's no denying they probably were the better team until, and by the way, we'll get into it, as the correct decision, red card 100%. But see with this Celtic team, go 2-0 down, I don't care,
No.
because we'll just score more,
Aye.
and that's a fact.
Big confidence coming up to the Celtic Rangers game at the weekend. So if Rangers are 2
Mate,
off
see
at
if
half
I'm
time,
being
you still be
totally honest
confident?
with you, I don't give 2 flying. See if we don't get battered, I don't care. Play the
Why?
reserves.
Do you know actually both sets of fans are saying play the reserves?
No, I know, but I hate that. I hate this.
And you seen it last
Don't
night.
kick each other or something. That I mean, make it interesting.
Did you see the game
mean-
last night? Before obviously we go more into the recap of the Hearts and Celtic game. I watched the Youth Cup final last night.
Yeah, I was shocking with the pens.
With the Glasgow Cup final.
That's what sorry. I mean, I don't rate any of them.
The first half, I thought Celtic were very,
There's-
very good. The
there's-
first half,
Fair
very,
play for
very
them to
good.
come back.
Lol,
3
so
3-0
good,
down.
mate.
Is that the centre half?
So good.
Him and Vat are good.
I think Lowe was good, but he cost a couple of goals. But listen, that's what it's about.
Lovelace had him in his pocket. That whole
That's what that level's about, though. It's
I
about
like
trying
Lowe.
things and trying to develop as a player.
Aye.
And in any glimpse he's had in the first team, I've been very impressed with Bosun Lowe. So I wouldn't read too much into last night.
Nah.
I think he's a very, very good player, and I think he'll go on and be a big player for Celtic.
I think
in
so
the
too.
future.
Back,
Do you
back
know-
to the Hearts.
Do
But
you know, before you move on to obviously the goals in it, do you know I think it looked a bit shaky, especially the first half? Kobayashi, I thought he was misplacing a lot of passes. He just didn't look comfortable. Same with kind of all the back line, if I'm honest. Maybe that's because Carter Vickers isn't there. Like you see it, I can only speak for myself. Goldson's at the team. You see almost a bit of nervous.
Kobayashi was rotten.
I think again.
Defensively very good, but
See,
on the ball,
I-
he's shaking.
see, to touch on that, and we'll get back into it after this. I think, see on the ball, great passer, absolutely puts a bit of venom on it. Go have that. A lot. It's Taylor's used to Starfelt, gain him a wee a chance to go and get maybe hit or something, and he'll nip in or whatever. But Kobayashi's firing it into feet. You're going to get that and misplace a couple of passes, but I would rather somebody fire it into somebody's feet so that they can turn and have that half a second on the turn, because we've got the players to do it. It's just going. They've not played with each other a long time, even though they play in training. The game time will come. It'll be a big test Saturday, 100%.
How did you feel Hearts nullified the way that Celtic like to try and play? Obviously, if the ball's coming down Celtic's left hand side, they push one of the they would push the right full back. Normally Alistair Johnson, in this case Anthony Ralston, in and create an overload in the middle of the park. While whoever's playing on the right, I think it was Jota, the first half, just keeps the width in the game. How did you feel Hearts nullified Celtic and stopped them playing that way?
I think it was Mayor McGregor. I think it was fair. They try to kind of. Every time McGregor kind of gets away, he kind of drops in sometimes. He drops wide sometimes to take the ball. He kind of starts to pop them off the passes. He normally gets the first pass back that he gives. But I felt as if they waited until he gave the ball out to then shut him down. So Celtic had to go certain ways, so they couldn't give him the ball back and then move out, which worked for them. And then on the counter attack, they were very good. Naismith set them up well. He set them up very well. It's as if he was chasing the game.
I think. I actually agree with you. I don't think Naismith will be Hearts manager for next season.
Nah.
But I would like to see him have his own job. Championship.
I would like
I
to see
actually
him
think he's an alright coach.
be a part of a team.
He's had big jobs now.
Aye.
He's had big coaching jobs.
He's still the assistant manager for Scotland, isn't he?
Aye, so
So like maybe being assistant manager of Scotland will maybe no let him take his full time job. But I think the way he's set up, maybe take away the Hibs game, which they didn't look good, but
They've
first
looked
half
better.
against Celtic, aye, they have looked better. They have looked better, and he is setting something up, but they've just dropped off dramatically. Hearts, I don't know what it is.
Hearts done very well attacking Celtic's right side with Ralston. Obviously that's fresh, and Ralston's not played pretty much most of the season, so to go and attack that side and give him a bit of trouble, they were getting it. And then obviously probably come on to it, the red card. It was a red card.
Speaking of Ralston, right, Ralston's long passing is so underrated, mate. His long passing is phenomenal.
Mm.
See the way he looks up and he just pings balls. Pings the one in behind for Maeda, right?
Mhm.
When Celtic got their chance for was it O's goal?
Yep.
Aye, he switches the ball.
I saw I obviously watched the game, but I seen that goal 2 or 3 times on Twitter. See the amount of touches that everyone gets on the ball
Aye.
before the ball actually
And then he gets space. And a right back there doesn't play that ball.
Mhm.
That's not a right back's pot to play that. Right backs open up and go wider
Mm-hmm.
to the other winger. He's looked across, seen Taylor in space, and pinged the ball across the box. It's unbelievable.
Aye. No, definitely. I think Hatate again though. He was the best player on that park by a country mile.
Do you think?
Oh my god.
McGregor, mate.
No, I think Hatate just stood out.
I think Hatate had a good second half.
Just
First
head.
half was a bit
I think
missing.
head and shoulders above everybody, and it's every game though.
I
I
know.
couldn't tell you last time Hatate had a bad game. I don't watch Celtic week in week out. I watch the highlights, so I won't watch a full game. But there's nothing you can say about this boy. Like, what age is he? 25, 26?
No, Hatate's younger than that. He's 23 or something.
23, 24.
Like, the way he plays, you can
Come on.
like the way he plays, you can play for another 10 years at his level, like in a different league.
Aye, well, we were talking about, and take this with a pinch of salt, right? We were watching the Man City game, Real game the other night.
Mhm.
We're talking about how Modric could easily play for another 2-3 years, still at that high level, right?
Mhm.
Hatate looks very close to Modric, the way he moves on the ball, the way he drops in, takes the ball, and he wants to go forward all the time.
I think that's a mad shout.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
get
take it
you
with a
though,
pinch of do you know
Because
what I
we
mean?
always say, like, we've agreed with us for ages that McGregor is a carbon copy of Bernardo Silva.
Aye.
The way, like, they don't play the same position, but the way they're on the ball, their running
The
style,
mannerisms.
their mannerisms. So I actually get what you're saying, where the mannerisms of Hatate remind you of Modric.
He's nippy. He's just
Aye.
nippy. Like, you think he's lost the ball, that's it. He's lost the ball, or he's not lost the
And
ball.
he's got fight in him. He's not like he's just this amazing technical player. Like he's got a dog in him.
Aye, and then see the running behind that he made for Celtic's first.
Yes.
Aye, it's carbon copy Modric when he scored against Celtic.
Aye.
At Celtic
I-
Park. It's
I
the
don't know, I
exact same
think
run.
the-
It's the exact same run straight through.
I think
No,
if
as
he
soon
can
as
do
the
it in
ball
a
gets the
different
ball.
league,
Aye, then
I think if you're going to compare him to Modric, he's got to go down to the Premier League, or he's got to
No,
go
definitely.
Spain. He's got to go to a higher.
definitely I rate him.
league.
Obviously, Modric for me is the best midfielder.
can we just say
honestly.
something and then literally move on to the next
Yeah.
point? Somebody
Oh
They
my
will
God,
not
I
be
know what you're
named.
gonna say.
said Modric is not in the top 6 midfielders of
my
your generation.
Aye, I
That
know
is
what you're
abysmal.
talking
He put
Jesus.
Gerrard ahead of Modric. That is
He
shocking.
put Chris Pirlo.
Aye, no, Pirlo I can maybe
No,
get.
no way.
Aye.
Modric, mate.
No, mate, no, right here, right. Listen, right.
See,
No,
here.
no,
before
we
we
said-
go off,
we did-
before
we
we
did-
go
we
off,
did
because
say
we're going to
we'd go
get
on.
way too
Aye.
off topic.
But here, check yourself, boy.
People are going
Check
to.
yourself.
I can feel that people are going to be watching this, thinking, right, how do you get this far into the podcast without bringing up the main talking point from the game? Obviously, Celtic won the league, but people are saying blah 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 blah
It's a red
blah.
card.
Should it have been a red card?
It's a red
What's your
card.
verdict?
That is
It's
a red card.
unfortunate, but it's a red card.
That is.
I think so, and I think people, the commentators were stunned that Willie Collum deemed it an obvious, or what is a
A clear and
Clear
obvious
obvious
error.
a clear and obvious error, which even going back to ref watch a couple of days later, even Dermot says it's a red, and that's coming from them that watch it all the time. He's ahead of him. He's last man. Made us too quick for anybody else in that park. It's a straight red. Anybody else get yourself drug tested that said it's not a red card.
So I listened to Super Scoreboard after it, and Gordon Duncan's talking about when he was invited along to one of the referees' open sort of.
Forums.
No, it's
Training
I
day
don't know what you
things.
call it. It's like a fitness day where they
Aye.
ask questions, like a Q&A type
Like what
thing.
Jamie Carragher did in Gary Neville.
I remember
Aye,
that.
kind of similar. So he's went along to it, and he was asking just about generally like, about rules and how you make decisions and stuff like that. And he never named the referee, but he said a really well-known referee looked at him and said, "You absolutely under no circumstances take a player's pace or ability into consideration when you're making a judgment call like last man or goal scoring situation, or was it they say a clear obvious goal
Clear
scoring
enough.
opportunity."
Mhm.
So they don't take that into consideration. They don't take a player's ability or pace or anything else into consideration when they're making that decision. So with that in mind, do you think it's still a red card?
Aye.
Mhm.
I can see you thinking about it because I done the
You
same.
made me think about it.
I did think about it.
Aye, because I actually think the opposite. I think Maeda's not even getting on end it because I know how bad his first touch is. So,
He's past him, but he doesn't need to take a touch.
alright, is he not going to score then? He needs
So-
to take a touch to shoot.
he just had it first time.
That's it. You're touching the ball.
No, I think before we started filming, I actually said when I was looking at it a couple of times, I thought Kai Rolls was going to get to the ball. Having looking at it 2 or 3 more times, that is a red card. That is a red. Like I'd probably say Cochrane's unlucky. He's not trying to take down the man. He's maybe trying to get round him. You're not going to get round Maeda when he's running. Let's be fair, Maeda's he's too quick. But he's unlucky, but it is a red.
As a fullback, you've got to do something.
What is
It's
your
just
opinion?
unfortunate.
I see when I'm in the moderating seat. I
No,
tend
no,
not to have
no,
too
no,
much. Nah, for me it's a red card. For me it's a red. I think, like you say, he's unlucky. He's put himself in a decent enough position to try and mark the space, but like you say, see when Magda gets away from you, he's too quick. So any kind of contact when you're moving at that kind of speed is going to bring him down. So he's went down under the challenge. He's the last man. You look at it along the line, when the contact's made, there's about 5 yards between the deepest line and the second deepest line. So for me it's a red card.
Must be a nightmare to try and defend against somebody like that.
Mate, do you know how
That's
wide
calm.
he starts his run?
You'll find out on the 1st of July, because I've heard CJ Novo's rapid.
Come on.
Is Marlon
Sorry.
playing?
Marley 13's playing.
James
James has
will
got him right in his
Aye.
back pocket. Quick scope him right out that park.
We'll find out. We'll find out on July 1st. But he's talking too big a game. I think you're
I'm
beating
getting
him at
sent
centre.
off.
Nah, you can't get
I
yourself
think it's
sent
half
off.
in a charity game.
Watch me.
So obviously, I was going to say Rangers have went down to 10 men. Hearts have went down to 10 men. Celtic go and get the goal. What did you make of the goal itself?
What, the offside one or the actual goal?
The actual goal.
Clinical.
Yeah, that's what he does. I felt he had a very quiet game, but
Aye.
he just pops up with the goals. Kyogo.
Aye, and it's a hard one. That's a hard one to score. There's no angle there from.
Aye, and
really.
that's coming fast across. Like, actual decent connection onto that ball, and he's not.
The
He's
two,
not
the
scoring
two
that.
passes for it's incredible. The
Mhm.
first pass incredible, and then see to take it the way Hatate took it, parallel.
Mm-hmm.
It's lovely. It's lovely.
Aye, watching it back, you see obviously Celtic have got that ability. Like when they're no connecting the passes and playing it out wide, getting overlaps, you do see McGregor, O'Reilly, whoever it is, playing in that deeper, just clipping it over the top. Having the third man runs for the midfield is so important in football. It's like it's mad, but again, Hatate looks like the ball's actually behind him for the angle for the side, but he just gets his foot on it and
It's that last
Kyogo.
step in it. He slows down right in the
Aye.
last step, knowing that the ball's going to get caught in him. It's lovely.
Could you speak more to that then, just generally speaking about the types of systems that Celtic can employ to break these teams down? Because you're talking about Hearts have obviously played a high line to come and press, so Celtic beat the press with that high ball.
Mhm.
When you know what to play through the thirds, you get the ball over and you play a bit more direct, you get the runs, you get the goal. But when teams sit in against Celtic, they just seem to hem you in and start creating opportunity after opportunity, and then it becomes a matter of
Do you know what
when,
it is?
not if.
Do you know what it is? And this is something I always pick up with Celtic in any game. And that kind of leads us on to the second goal. See your 2-8s running into the box. Aaron Moy's a specialist at that. I don't know how many times I've seen this season him running in for that left hand side into the box, right across, and it's a goal. And that's what happened with O's goal. And that's how, like, it's the quality off the ball from the 8s to get in and away from their marker. And once they get the ball in that position, it's then the quality on the ball to, we're going to set up this striker. And whoever the striker is, whether it be O, whether it be Kyogo, Maeda, whoever it is, they know right to the front post, and I'm getting that ball.
See that's a bit of two things. It's a bit of the way that Celtic move the ball when they've got the ball. It comes from keeping the ball that long.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you move teams a bit enough so when Celtic pass by somebody and they move on, that guy then gets drawn out and it leaves Moy with the space then to go, mate, there's nobody near me now, I can make a run wherever I want to.
Mm-hmm.
So that comes up with system, and then it comes up with the players that fit into the system, and Moy for me fits the system perfectly.
Let me
See-
ask you a bit more about that. See, just obviously you're a Rangers fan, right? So you watching Celtic and picking up on these
Unlucky.
things, and then you're obviously able to go and watch Rangers and see a totally different style of football. For me, Rangers are really good at working it into crossing areas, and then it's just crossing it and trying to create chances for that. What do you think Michael Beale's got to do in the next transfer window to catch Celtic and try and adapt his style, because it's been unsuccessful this season?
Look, there's a number of things that I can say, but in terms of trying to counteract Celtic, the first thing on my list would maybe try and get 2 fullbacks who can defend. Now, we are mentioning the fact that maybe there's 2-8s who play for Celtic, whether that be O'Reilly, Hatate, Moy, anybody, McGregor even. There's nothing in our midfield to suggest that we've not got personnel who can't deal with that. I don't think a fit Ryan Jack, I'm confident, can do something like that. Yes, we maybe need to bring in another midfielder. Raskin can also do something like that, but there's so many things. Wingers even, we'll take it back to Celtic. We talk about how your fullbacks get inverted. They cram the midfield and it leaves so much width, space. Whether it be again Jota, Abada, Maida, whoever it is, they're constantly tracking back. Rangers wingers don't do that. We've seen it with Kent this season. We've seen it with Sakala. Anybody who's played
Would you
in that,
rather that?
of course, we need to.
Do you think it's a fitness issue then?
I don't think it's a fitness issue. I don't think Rangers aren't a fit team. I think Rangers are a fit team. Look, it could come down to in some of the games this season, it looks like players just don't want to play, and that's a lazy thing
It's
to
been
say.
happening for 3 years, but
It's-
3
it's-
years
I
it's been
wouldn't
happening.
say 3 year. I wouldn't say 3 year. Look, I think we had a massive opportunity to build on what we done with Gerrard. We didn't do that, but that was 2 years ago. Like that, 2 years is a long time. Since that time, Andrews came in and straight away changed completely how people in Scotland view football. Nobody thought, let's invert fullbacks. Nobody thought, let's make our wingers as wide as possible and no inverted again. And let's not try and get 2-8s running into the box. And nobody's thought about that. Andrews came in and brought a completely different philosophy to football that we've seen. Yes, we've seen brilliant football. Like the football we played under Gerrard when we won the league was brilliant. It was totally different though. That was all about trying to keep possession, like Ange right now. But what we done with that is we try to keep possession. What we're doing now, out to the fullbacks, crossing into the box, and that's still what we're doing. But we've not got the players for it.
See, sorry, on you go.
I said that, I can't remember, I think it was a Rangers Dundee United game at home, right? And I don't know what, me and you ended up watching it somehow, and I'd know to be like funny or anything, or like genuinely taking the mick. I genuinely says to you on that day, how can you find this enjoyable?
It's not.
Because it literally, I'm not even
That
just...
sounds like you're trying to get
Oh, no,
it.
No,
but
like,
it's not, I
mate,
totally agree.
I'm not even joking when I say this. For the first 40 minutes, centre mid, right back, up, past the halfway line, into the box. What is Alfie going to do? What's he done for the last 3 years?
I know it's not that though.
Won a
It's
league 2 years ago.
Got to a
One,
final Europa
one
League.
trophy, maybe 2 Scottish.
aye. Look, Morelos hasn't been good this season. Nobody, you 2 or 3 people in
I
this
feel
Rangers
sorry
team.
the way he's went out. He
So-
doesn't deserve the way he
So
went
do,
out.
so do I. Look, see, for a lot of fans growing up, Morelos is their hero. A lot of under 15-year-olds, that's who they love. They love his antics. Look, he'll always be a love-hated player. Even amongst Rangers fans, you see it on Twitter, you see a lot of chat between Rangers fans, but he's not been great. There's 2 or 3 players this season who could have got pass marks. That's not good enough. It's not good enough. We've not really challenged in anything. And I think Bill's got a massive job. I actually said, I don't want this to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bill wasn't here next season. No, for the fact that I don't think it would do a good job, because Bill is a good coach. We did see it. Bill was the masters behind us winning the league. You know, Gerrard's the face, but Gerrard never took a training. Gerrard never coached the players. This is all Bill.
It's a philosophy.
Aye. So I think that if Bill doesn't, this is a bigger rebuild than Gerrard, and I truly believe that.
I agree.
Only for the fact that Celtic are so far ahead of us right now that the gap in quality is ridiculous. And as long as Ange's here, I'll say this right now, as long as Ange's in Scotland, Rangers will never win the league.
No, see, I'm
It's a
not even
big
going to
shout.
come out in a limb and say that. I think that Ange is the best manager that Celtic's had in the last 10 years.
100%.
I
last 10
I don't doubt that, but the reason for that is
He's the best
Ange-
manager since Matt Lennell.
Ange came in with a philosophy and bought players that are going to fit his philosophy. The last, bar Gerrard, because he kind of got funded, a lot of managers haven't had enough time for me. I know Ange done it in 1 season, right, but we weren't expecting him to.
No.
Look, we were giving him the time. We were saying give him 2-3 years to build a team. He done it in 1, right, that's fine. But Michael Beale needs time to then, like, this is my philosophy, and let me go and buy the players I want. Let me get rid of all this dead wood and let me build the players I want. There wasn't much dead wood at Celtic. When Ange came in, there wasn't a lot of players that had to go out.
Christie went.
Edward,
they're not
yeah.
dead wood.
Left Aya.
They weren't dead wood.
I think there's a
They were
difference.
starters.
There's a difference between cashing in on
Aye.
assets and cutting dead wood. I
Mhm.
I understand where you're coming from, with guys like he maybe get rid of Sorrow because he never saw Sorrow in his plans. Calling them dead wood's probably harsh as well.
I know, but you know what I mean by it. It's players that aren't going to play.
I get what you mean, and before we move on, I'll take it back. Like, the reason why I think Beale might not be here is he's going to need to come in. There's going to be at least 10 to 12 players out the door. Players who've played their part over the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it is, out of contract. But we won't get big fees for a lot of our players. You think, like, who's maybe go? Glenn Kamara. See, 2 years ago we sell Glenn Kamara. You're talking 10 million
10
at
million.
least, because he was that sort of player. Didn't cash in on him. Morelos didn't cash in
What's
on
Kent's
him.
value?
Well, he's out of contract.
Oh, no, mind.
So there you go. There's Morelos, Kent. 2 years ago we would have got 25 million between both of them. Barisic, like Hadji, even all of these players who are just past their shelf date, and I get why we've kept them, because we might have not had the money, blah blah blah, right? But I just Beale will need to come in and bring in 10 to 12 players, and every single one of them to hit the ground running. You name us a Celtic signing that first season who didn't hit the ground running.
There was the odd exception, obviously. Guys like Idaguchi kind of struggled.
Idaguchi
was this season.
Aye,
last season.
Idaguchi fine. I think he came in injured though, didn't
James McCarthy kind of
played his part.
I know,
Yeah, I
he
would argue that as well.
he played his part. He's just done.
Look, he
That is
filled
all.
in a gap.
No.
He filled in a gap. We
Just,
can't have, before we move on, sorry, we can't have any players coming in just to fill gaps though.
Aye, no, you don't have any gaps to fill.
Aye.
Your full team needs rebuilt.
Exactly.
just to kick us on then, well, obviously you mentioned Ryan Kent there, so we'll move on to Rangers. But I seen this week that Club Brugge are tabling an offer for Ryan Kent.
Aye, there's Bruges, there's Fenerbahce, there's Burnley a couple of weeks ago. Look, I think he just needs to go. I don't think he should stay in the UK. I think he should just go abroad, because even if he stays in, if he goes down to England, no matter where it is, what level, Championship, Premier League, whatever, there'll still be a lot of eyes on him. See, if he goes to wherever it is, Belgium, Turkey, goes any country, he won't have as much pressure on him.
He needs to enjoy his football.
We know Kent, and I still believe Kent at his best still makes a Celtic and Rangers 11, 100%. He's up there with Jota. He's not as good as Jota, definitely no, but we've seen it, like, and he's just got worse and worse every season, like, and it's so frustrating because Ryan Kent, again, like Morelos, is some Rangers fans' heroes, and it's actually sad the way both of them went out with no cast in on them. They've dropped tools, and do you know what? It is time for them to go.
Do you think if Beale had stayed when Gerrard left and Beale had taken you there, do you think he would still be getting the best at your Kents and your Morelos the way they did in that season?
I think that's hard to say because nobody was a fan of Gio, right? Gio was anti-football, horseshoe football, right? But there was players under Gio who had good performances. Morelos had a resurgence of form. Kent, you look at Dortmund away, one of his best, greatest ever performances.
He was John Lundstrom really thrived under.
John Lundstrom, Glenn
Van
Kamara came
Bronckhorst.
back in, very good. Scott Wright, even, you know, obviously Bassey, the big one, Tavernier. There's actual individual players who you think, Gio got a tune out of him. Beals came in, and even for the first, I think it was the first 13 games, we won 12, drew 1, and then we played Hughes in the cup final. Even that, I was thinking, there's 2 or 3 performances that were brilliant. There's no been fantastic performances though. Is that because he's not had a transfer window? Maybe. Is that because he's working with players? A lot of fans says he's going to come in, he knows a lot of the players. Aye, but although he was taking training, he was the brains behind it. The ultimate decision of the team doesn't lie down to him, it lies down to Gerrard. As much as he takes his players in training, he might not fancy them. And I think that's what he's came in and he's thought, well, John Lundstrom's not my player, so he's out the team. Glenn Kamara's a shadow himself, he's out the team. You've seen this week after the Aberdeen game, he's calling it Morelos in the press. Is it the right thing to do? I don't think so. But again, I actually think that it's a difficult position.
I think he's saying what the fans want him to say, so it buys him time with the whole Morelos thing, because realistically a manager's always going to back their player. And going on to the Rangers Aberdeen game, I thought it could have went either way. And I know that's again, like you had to watch the game of the highlights. Aberdeen had their fair chances in the first half. Rangers had quite a few good chances in the first half. But I'll let you take it away.
Nah, I
The
think
way the last 5 minutes have gone in here, I think sums up the sort of feeling that Rangers fans have got generally speaking.
I actually
because-
felt sorry for Craig when he was saying that. I'm not even joking.
No, I just mean generally because there's so much to be positive about at Rangers in terms of he's only lost 2 games
Well,
since
they've not had
Beale
a
came
bad
in.
season.
No,
No.
I mean since Beale came in, they've only lost two games, drawn 2 as well. Sorry, lost 3 and drawn 1, which isn't bad form at all. It's just because of how good Celtic have been. But with all these other things going on in the background as well, what we end up sitting here talking about is Alfredo Morelos, Ryan Kent, instead of talking about the job that Beale's doing and the football that he's playing. The fact he's brought Cantwell in. His goal on Sunday was unbelievable. It's like
good.
Iron Robin-esque. See that? the
There's
goal
no many
Robin
players in the
scored?
league who can score that goal.
He's a. I agree,
Surprised
he's
they
been
didn't
a-
get Griddy.
Aye, that bothers you so much, doesn't it?
No.
You're losing the league, and you're who'd they score against? St. Martin? No,
At Dundee United.
Dundee
Dundee
United,
United.
aye. Like, I'd
Stephen Fletcher's having nightmares about that guy griddying up and down the
So you
Broomloan
wouldn't
Stone.
celebrate then if you're playing for Celtic and you scored against Dundee United?
and
you
I've
wouldn't
lost the
celebrate?
league. No, I'll go grab. No,
I'm celebrating. I'm in the fans.
I can
technically
understand his point. If he's lost the league,
no,
I
right.
can kinda
But
understand.
before we say lost the league, yes, to us we have lost the league. By points, have we lost the league?
Are Celtic gonna no get a point between now and the end of the season?
Anything can happen in football.
I get that. I
So
get that.
he doesn't griddy, and he's like, I couldn't griddy.
If he doesn't griddy, I don't get annoyed.
So, right, so
I like confident football players. I
Uh,
enjoy a confident football player.
so
Cameron's
what
been
did we make of the actual football then?
look, I think
McCrory, clap,
Aye, very good.
very good.
Aye,
Play him the
That
rest of the
save with
season.
Duke, man.
Aye.
Save with
It's
Duke.
quite a
the
few,
one
no?
man.
McCrory's played 3 games for Rangers and he's got 3 clean sheets. One against Celtic, came in against Aberdeen, and a European tie. I remember last week when we done our start sub sale, I said that I would keep McCrory, I wouldn't start him. Now we're
Keep
linked.
McCrory and starting them.
No, we're linked to goalkeepers. Obviously, Jack Burton's the main one. He's a much bigger name than McCrory. He's played in the Premier League for God knows how many years. But
Is that the boy for Stoke?
he's at Man U, there.
No, is he?
But McCrory will start what is it, 4 more games?
There's 4 between now and the end of the season, unless you're Celtic and Inverness.
Aye,
you get
4 more
obviously
games.
Scottish Cup
McCrory will start 4 more games. I actually, thanks for that.
I never even meant that to be wide.
Thanks,
I never even meant that to
I'm
be
actually
wide.
pulling my heart out in this podcast today. But he'll
I'm
start.
just sinking slowly, man. Every time he speaks, I'm like, fuck.
He'll start 4 more games, and this is addition. This is a lot of players' addition for this team. If you want to stay here next season, the league's lost. We've got nothing to play for. Right, go and play for your shirt.
Well, if you're Michael Beale, then obviously you're decent run of form now. You're going all right. Who are you playing on Saturday? It's your last real shot for a lot of these players to show they can stand up.
And
to
goals are like the
Nate-
full
Nate-
team.
I'm
full
phoning
team.
Steven Gerrard up, asking if he wants a 90
In
minutes.
fact, no. Do you know what? I tell you what. We'll come back to this
Aye.
again because I've got a wee thing coming back to the game though, and focusing on the key talking points. What did you make the Duke and Goldson incident? Is that a penalty for you?
Aye.
It's not a penalty. It's outside the box, and it's not even a foul.
Oh, it's a foul.
It's not.
It's a foul. You need to go at the ball, do you know? Do you need to try and win the ball?
What's so
The
you?
ball's behind you. Can't win the ball. Can't touch somebody if the ball's behind you. It's a foul.
So, the first when I was watching it live, just in the normal camera, I was screaming at Goldson, "What are you doing? Duke's done you again. Duke's does." Sorry guys, Prod James has just started crawling over the floor. Anyway, that was Duke. That was Duke.
That was Duke.
No, so when I was watching it, I thought, what is Goldson doing again? Duke's absolutely rinsed our defenders yet again in our Rangers Aberdeen game. A couple of more replays, and I thought, right, again, what is he doing? There was one camera angle which is right in front, it's right behind both of them. Duke's grabbed his arm and wrapped his arm round before Goldson's touched him. I understand why people might think it's a foul, but you can't grab somebody's arm, drag them down, and then fall. That's not a foul.
You can if you're in front of them and you've got the ball.
No, but that's not. But if I'm in front of you if I'm in front of Jamie and I grab Jamie's arm and wrap my arm around it and then fall,
then
that's
he
not
has
foul.
to try and win the ball. But
No, but that's not foul to me. That's obstruction.
Do you know what's all gone through
it's
my
no
head? didn't it?
obstruction. He's knocked the ball by Goldson. Goaldson's obstructing him for getting the
No,
ball.
no.
So he gets ruined,
Wait,
Goldson.
can I just say something quickly? Can you to swap before he gets back, just so that he can.
No.
Aye, go for it. A spot
Aye,
before he comes
swap,
back in.
swap.
Aye. Just see if he notices.
Keep keep that in the recording.
Aye,
Is it
we won't cut it. We'll just keep going
No,
as
but-
if it's normal, and then when he comes back.
Aye, so no, mate, I agree with you. I think he does keep his arm, but I think he needs to do that to get rid of him.
I don't think it's a foul.
It's a decent shape for you, by the way.
Listen,
Well,
he
we've
begs him, sells him a dime bar. See you later. He should have got
A
a
dime
foul.
bar, it's a damn bar, is it not?
Dad,
Should
Is
have
it?
been.
Dame?
A damn.
Should that have been a red?
Dammy?
No.
I don't
Well,
think it's a
he was
foul.
last man, sorry, wasn't he?
He was the last man, but it was
Aye,
outside
see
the
you
box.
later, Goldson.
So,
Bye bye Saturday.
No, but
so you think that should have been a red card?
I
A
think
free
it
kick
should
and a
have.
red card.
I get where Craig's coming from. Duke's got his arms like that, like under him, like that. So Goldson's literally pleading like that, like behind him. But you've still got your weight, your body.
the aftermath of that is he does put his arms back round Duke.
If Duke never got up and stayed in the ground, I think it
But
goes to VAR.
if Duke's got his arms wrapped around Goldson, so Goldson can't get round him, he's got his arm around him, is that no obstruction?
Yes, but then if he doesn't put
So-
his arms round Duke, then it's a foul.
Right, right, so before he puts his arm round Duke has obstructed him, so that is a foul. So before he's put his arm around him, it is a foul.
No, right. Obstruction has to be.
Is that no?
Obstruction has to stop somebody from getting to another place. Right, Goldson's not going anywhere. The ball's behind him. He needs to turn round. He doesn't turn round once.
Nah,
he only turns
it's-
round when Duke turns round to grab him.
You need to speak into the mic.
I know, but I don't understand what you're meaning. Duke's going to the ball. Goldson's no. Goldson's facing the fans. He's been done. He's been left in the dirt.
Nah.
Well, TikTok and Instagram fans, let us know your comments below. Should Duke have been sent off for Duke? Should Goldson have been sent off for that?
No way. Yeah, we'll clip that and we'll
Yeah.
we'll put it on an Insta poll
That would be
and,
mad.
and see what.
Aye, we'll see
people
what
are
happens to
talking.
that.
There's an eerie silence as
But
Prod
listen-
James starts crawling back over the floor after coming back in. But we'll move on. Hibs and St Mirren. Hibs.
He's not even realised.
He's just
But-
noticed he did.
Sorry. Before we move on, there should have been a red card in the Rangers Aberdeen game.
Should have been.
Todd Cantwell.
Yes.
I never actually seen that one.
Todd Cantwell
Wait,
raised
did
his
they again?
he raised his hands to
Sure.
Liam Scales.
Skills, sorry.
Liam
He's
Scales.
got short man syndrome, isn't
He's 6 foot.
I know.
But
It's big on
Is it
you.
actually- he? Is it actually 6 foot?
You look about 3 foot down there, Ray.
But,
Because of the dodgy
no,
seat.
no, I agree with you. He's raised his horns. I don't know what Scales has done for him to do that.
Do you know what it is? That's you see that in every game. See if there's a scuffle, referees just to make it a wee bit better.
Double yellow.
They just book both.
The double yellow. Scales is lying in the floor full time.
Aye,
He's standing
just-
up, and you can see him looking like, I don't even do it.
Aye, they just book both. But
Aye.
that should have been a red card.
That's what it is.
We'll move on to the next game because I don't watch
On
that.
to Hibs St Mirren. So Hibs beat St Mirren 2-1 at Easter Road. 1 point behind the big rivals now, Hearts. The race to finish fourth. A,
Great.
how did you see the game? B, who's going to finish fourth?
So
Hibs.
the game was actually decent. Hibs, is it Eli Ewan?
Aye, they signed him permanently.
He's actually just signed
Permanent.
permanent today.
Great signing.
Got a fantastic
I
signing.
think this is. But I know we talk too much about like off camera and not off camera, like off ball and the market and stuff like that. I'm going to say one thing, and we'll get into football. Hibs need to build a solid team again, and I think they're on their way to doing that. And I think they'll finish above Hearts this season.
Okay.
But going back to the goal,
That's lovely.
It's a lovely finish.
composure, lads. That's it. That was composure.
Break it down for us then at home. I want an in-depth, detailed analysis of this.
Go
All
on.
I can remember is seeing that beautiful man take strides towards the goal from a through ball, right? Unbelievable pass.
Yeah.
Or was it a flick on?
No, I think it was a through ball.
And he's got the composure where he did.
Okay.
I had to check on him there. He's got the composure for the defender on his back to not only put it to the right of the keeper, chip it to the keeper. You know what I'm going to do? Slide it bottom left,
Aye. To
Half
the
a
right of the
post.
keeper.
to the right of the keeper.
It's yeah, it's beautiful. And do you know what was even better? The second name of the
Celtic won the
second
league.
goal scorer. Fish.
What's his first name? Is
Will Fish.
Will Fish.
What a name?
Led like a salmon to get that header, by the way.
Oh, yeah, the
No
fish
corner.
salmon.
What's
hey?
his
The
name?
Fish salmon. I like that for you. I like
Will
that.
Fish.
Will Fish. Led like
I
a
know.
salmon.
I know you're trying to think of something.
Aye, I will.
Big fish, Will Fish.
I will fish.
Cardboard
What
box.
did you see the Hibs game then?
I thought Hibs are very good. Like you say, I think Lee Johnson's a very good manager.
Yeah.
I think
And
they're rated in this league.
I think given time, he will make Hibs come good again.
Make Hibs great again.
Make
I,
Hibs
thi- I,
great
think,
again.
I think they've finally made a good decision after about 3 or 4 horrid ones as a club.
Aye.
I would actually back that. I think Sean Maloney definitely wasn't given enough time. Lee Johnson, in all honesty, they've had 2 or 3 separate opportunities where they could have said, listen, this isn't working out, we need to try something different,
And
but they haven't. They've stuck with it. They've stuck with him, and I think he's coming good. On a season where probably the first half people would have been probably criticising Lee Johnson and Hibs as a whole.
If they finish above Hearts this season,
It's a successful season. Aye, definitely
Wow.
a successful season.
Is it- Do we? No, I'm just trying to get this right. Is there 4 European places or is it still 3?
4.
It's 4.
Okay, so
Champions League first. Champions League qualifiers second.
Europa League
qualifiers
conference,
third and fourth.
conference,
Fourth
no?
goes into the
Conference.
conference. Aye.
And then Scottish Cup gets what?
Doesn't matter, Celtic win.
But does that not then go down?
But so Inverness will get a qualifier, I think. But
And
it'll be
Inverness will
like-
take 4th place's spot, so that you can only get 4.
No,
Oh, is that
it
what it
doesn't
is?
got the runner up.
I know
I
if
thought
they
they
win
went
it.
to 5th in the
No,
league.
it does if the team in first place automatically qualifies. So Celtic have automatically qualified, which means the second.
Oh, is that right? I'm
might
sure.
do,
I'm sure
I'm
in
not sure.
England, if Man City finish first and then finish and then win the FA Cup, I'm sure it then goes down to 7th place in the Prem. Gets a
No,
spot.
so the
I'm
way
not
it does it
sure.
in England, I remember when Wigan won the FA Cup against Man City.
Thanks for that.
Sorry, Jamie. You know, I've been bombarded for 35 minutes about Rangers being terrible and Celtic win the league. But I remember there was a team who finished 7th, which was the last European spot. I think it was Everton that season who didn't get it because Wigan.
Right,
So
okay,
I
it might
don't
be the
know.
cup.
Right.
So I don't know if Inverness win and Hibs finish 4th. Inverness will then take over Hibs.
This is a football podcast. We just don't have a clue.
St Mirren as well. Obviously, it's a disappointing result for them. Obviously, because they're going for that European spot, and the money that would make, or the difference that money would make to Stephen
Mhm.
Robinson St Mirren
That
is massive.
They're still only 4 points behind.
Aye,
Hearts, though.
they're still not at their hands.
Nah.
They've still got a good chance, and I think they see when you need
Have they
to
got to
go
play Hearts?
Aye.
Aye.
Well, who have they played? I know Hearts have played Celtic this week, and who did they play last week? Can't remember.
Can't remember. We covered it. I don't
So
remember.
Hearts have already played Celtic. They've obviously got Rangers coming up.
So no Hibs?
It was Hearts Hibs last week.
So
aye,
there you
that's
go.
what
They've
scored.
they've got the derby out the way. Which alright, Hibs have been worse than Aberdeen this season, but that could be a harder game. So they've got Hibs at the way. They've got Celtic at the way. So they've got St Mirren, Rangers,
Aye.
Aberdeen. I still think Hearts will finish 4th. If I'm honest.
Let's kick on to Motherwell Kilmarnock. Motherwell Kilmarnock. Are Motherwell
I
the
thought
best
about
of the bottom 6? And would Kevin Van Veen get into either the Celtic
No.
squad or the Rangers squad? No.
They would get in the Rangers team. They've not got a striker.
They wouldn't.
They don't have. You don't have a striker.
No, I know.
You don't have a striker.
Kevin
Like,
Van Veen.
him, Shanklin, and
Let's-
Duke get in the Rangers team.
Let's talk about the football.
Aye. Let's talk about football. First of all, Blair
Player
Spittle.
Spittle. Player.
Lovely
boy.
goal,
Great
man.
season.
My
Isn't
boy.
Lovely finish. Do you know what? Motherwell.
Oh, bro, James has done you at the back. She is fine, thanks.
She's actually. She's
She scores belters all the time.
That's how we sing this song
I'm
for
not
Whitley's
talking
more.
for five
No,
minutes.
Blair Spittle. About Blair Spittle, actually what I mentioned, he's been underrated his full career. I remember when we
Aye.
used to go and watch him at Thistle. He went to Thistle when was it County he played with? Now
Aye.
at Motherwell.
Keep that in.
He just seems like he's always scoring, he's always doing something.
He's one of the most productive players I've seen, that probably out with Celtic and Rangers.
Mhm.
His season at Dundee United, where they just fell short at the playoffs, he was unlucky.
Was he not United with like Mackay Stephen and that as well?
I
Part
think
of that young?
no, I think he'd have been the year after,
Was
or a
he?
year or two after. But off the back of that season, he got signed for Partick Thistle, who had just got top 6, by the way. That was like Partick Thistle's best season for like how many years. So they've signed him. That he's like your main signing. Him and young Jamie Snedden, a couple of other boys get signed as well. But a funny story actually, I was actually in the office when Blair Spittle and Jamie Snedden get signed. That was a
Really?
madness. That was the first player that I ever witnessed get signed live. That was pretty cool.
And Jamie Snedden still isn't the best Jamie who's been in that building.
100%, 100%.
Ness was there, wasn't he?
Hi Jamie Ness, aye.
Just that last. But I can't remember where I was going. Oh, aye. So Blair Spittle, see, watching him, man. Right, so he used to get played as like a right wing back when they played with the 3 at the back. Then he would get chucked in the 10. Then he would get chucked out left mid, and he's beating people, scoring at right back. He's getting beyond people, getting balls into the box. And the number 10, he's getting assists. He's one of the players that I think, with his pace and quality, can play anyway.
Utility.
Aye,
And I was
100%.
going to
Is
say
he
it,
utility
it sounds like myself until you said assists and goals there. And I was like, I just get chucked.
Well,
really.
you'll
That's
see
all
in
that
the
happens
you'll
to
see
me.
in the 1st of July.
Aye.
But I think Motherwell are that good team. in the bottom six. I think they're the better
they're the
team in the
best
bottom
team.
six.
They're the best team,
And
definitely.
does Van Veen get a move to a Celtic and Rangers, or would they play it? No, if he was 5, 6, 7 years younger.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Turning 32, or it might be 32. If he's 28, 29 even, same age as Cholak, I'm thinking, do you know what? I wouldn't start him for Rangers. I know we've not got a striker, but I wouldn't be wanting to start with him. I would probably take him as a backup. You know, what's it, 26 goals?
Do you rate him higher than Shankland?
Nah.
Yeah. Aye, mate, look at his goal.
No.
That just epitomises.
I think
type of
natural
player that
goal
he
scoring
is.
ability and being a better football player, I think that's two different things.
I rate him higher than Nisbet though.
I don't.
I rate him higher.
I
than
think Nisbet's one of the most overrated players in the league.
Kevin. I actually think you're
Actually,
classing it,
do.
but Van Veen's smashing, man.
I don't know about you, but I don't think Lawrence Shankland is a really good football player. I think he's a good finisher. I don't think he suits that Hearts team.
Mate, he plays in behind the striker and everything. He's great.
You don't think has he not
He's
scored
the
like
captain.
23, 24 goals this season?
He's a captain of this. He's the captain.
Doesn't matter, mate.
It's because Craig Gordon's injured.
Who else?
I'm not agreeing one way or the other. I'm just playing devil's advocate in the
So
situation.
you don't think Shankland?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not picking a
Right,
side.
so
in
I'm
the
asking
argument.
you.
Shankland or Van Veen?
For me, Lawrence Shankland.
It goes Shankland, Van Veen, Nisbet for me.
Nah.
It goes Van Veen, Nisbet, Shankland.
Van Veen.
Duke.
Oh, Duke's a level above. But Duke's not even a striker for me.
For
But
me, he's a left
see,
winger.
touching on that set. If
Get
you
that
do that one
sorted.
more time, you're getting thrown out. Anyway, sorry about that. Like, going back to Van Veen's goal, right? Liam Kelly.
Yeah.
I'm good with the names this
Oh,
weekend.
yeah, brilliant man.
Right for a goal kick. Could be goal kick. Whatever. Bang, in between two players, and Van Veen's not even looking at the second player. He knows he's there. And to do that while the ball's dropping at, 50, 60 feet?
Alright, aye.
He's just making estimates now. He
It's-
didn't know if it was a goal kick. He
it's-
didn't know if it's 50 or 60 feet.
I don't even-
It's up there. It was
I don't
high.
even think you know what day it's on, but we're not getting into
What
that.
day it's
right?
on? What day it is the day or what day the game is on?
My point proven. So the way he takes that touch inside the defender and the calmness to slot it past a keeper who could not fathom what he's
It's
just
not even the
witnessed.
touch, the finish as well is brilliant.
I
Unbelievable.
love this guy, man.
Like-
I just can't.
And but we speak about it all the time. He scored another offside goal.
Hi.
It would have been. I think he's scored the most offside goals.
Who's this Van Veen?
Aye,
Van Veen scores a absolute belter every year.
every week it seems like.
Right.
I couldn't tell you the last time.
Give me his goal for 2015.
No, I can't remember. I'm sure last year he had a goal of the league thing, me.
Goal of the
nomination.
league.
Didn't he? Or goal of the year, sorry.
Moving on. St
I'm
Johnstone
sure.
Dundee
40
United.
yarder or something.
Oh,
Eh,
boring game.
St Johnstone Dundee, a 1-0 victory. It's an important 3 points for St Johnstone because
Aye.
it kind of clears them of that relegation battle now.
Mhm.
Such a scrappy.
Aye, they won't. Look, it's between United County and Kelly.
Aye.
It's 1 point between them, I'm sure.
As County are sitting bottom by a point, I think the other two are on
Aye,
30
they have got
one.
the best goal difference, so.
Yeah, I think County will be okay. I think when County start playing against the teams closer to their level, they'll score goals.
I
and they won't
think-
concede a lot.
Who would you rather? Because obviously Dundee's coming up, right?
Mhm.
I don't like that. Not against Dundee. I just want something new. Dundee come up, they'll
Or
go
like
back
at
down.
Queen's Park.
Oh, Queen's Park there. I
Yeah.
love her. You know I love her. I want Erin Kelly in the playoff final.
Well,
oh,
we-
That would be unreal.
oh my god, I
As
want
this
it.
as this pod comes out on Friday tomorrow,
Mhm.
a few years actually might be at Oakview to see Partick Thistle v Queen's Park.
What was the first leg? 4-3?
Aye, 4-3
4-3,
last
yeah.
minute goal, 96-minute winner.
We
Queen's
should actually
Park.
do that. Do you want to do that? We'll just buy tickets as soon as we finish this and we'll go.
No, I'm looking.
When
I
is
don't.
it?
It's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. Tomorrow. Right, what?
Listen, let me see what we can do.
Aye.
We'll see if we can. We'll maybe reach out to a friend at Queen's Park or Oakview and see if they can sort us out with something special.
No,
I'm
100%.
skint all the time, so it's hard for me.
What about Ross County? Just on the topic before we go
Good
into the
one,
wee,
man.
the wee special game that I've got planned for us.
Good win. And Livingston have been right under the radar. See if Martindale wasn't their manager, everybody would hate them.
Livingston's went
I'm
downhill.
telling
as
you.
Why would they hate them?
Oh, no, it's
Just take that tap off.
No, I'm telling you, he's the life and soul of the full tune. Not even the football club. I swear, they'll be naming the Arndale Shopping Centre the Martindale Shopping Centre. I kid you not.
Mate, I reckon we start a petition to make that happen.
Please,
Do you know what I think? But
I'll get at least 4 signatures. The ones in my household.
Livy built a mini fortress when they played Celtic and Rangers, right?
Wow.
A mini fortress.
I wouldn't even say actually, no, I would say Rangers.
A wee bogey ground, like our
analogy.
Inverness back in the day. 'Cause that's
yeah.
that's done. Nowadays, they just can't do it. And I don't know if that's the type of players that they have about the club or the type of football that they do.
They've lost a lot of players to be fair.
I think that the rest of the league's improved as well. I think.
Aye,
And it's hard
100%.
I think it's really difficult for clubs like Livingston to keep up when the wage budget of and spending budget of these other clubs is so high. But in terms of the actual football, how did you feel Malky's men performed?
2 headers, wasn't it?
Aye.
2 headers. Malky's men just 5 minutes before first half 1-0. 15 minutes into the second half, final nail in that coffin. And as soon as you, if you
Malky hadn't even finished his pie.
he didn't. And look, I think that oh man, Malky's pie. But I think if you're going 2-0 down in a bottom 6
Aye,
fixture
away from home.
at Dingwall,
Nah.
it's very hard to come back for.
Aye.
Can we just touch on something before you go into this game?
Mhm.
Mulgrew's red card. What is he playing at?
Aye, it's a red,
Why did you
innit?
point at
It's-
me when you said Mulgrew?
Mate, I don't control what
Is
I
it the
point.
hair? It's the hair, innit?
You don't have hell like Charlie Mulgrew.
I know, I wish I did, but that's...
I'm buzzing for this mini game,
So am I.
what is the
and I'm
mini-
buzzing for the
Okay.
second.
Are we doing 3
So-
points?
Watch, because he's looking at your screen.
I'm not.
Aye, we're gonna do the
I
big.
can't
We're
see.
gonna do the big 3 points after this. So the second clue for the big 3 points will come after
Seen
this,
it.
right? So following the PFA's Team of the Year announcement, Scottish football fans have taken to all forms of social media to debate their Team of the Year. We'll be doing ours in the 2022-23 season wrap up when all competitions are finished, right? So after
Love that.
Sorry.
after the full season's done, we'll do our Team of the Year. So I'm not gonna put you on the spot like that. I will
I
give
only
you some
agree with
work for
one
it.
change.
No, there's a couple of shouts in there that are terrible.
What I'm going to ask you to do, in the spirit of keeping debate going over players and clubs in Old Firm weekend, is pick your combined Celtic Rangers 11.
Well,
But
like,
Right now.
Right now, go each. So you pick your starting 11 as Craig
no
Honest, right?
questions asked, like no description, just pick them.
Maybe a wee bit of description. I tell you what, you just say your team and then they can quiz you, and then you say your team, they can quiz you. You say your team
Right,
and then they can
deal.
quiz you, right?
You've stitched me right up here, by
You
the way.
can pick your own formation, pick your own.
We'll play 4-3-3. That's what both of us play. That's the only.
I don't know. He likes a 3 at the back.
I love a 3 at the
I
back.
love Rangers to play
And
three
I'm
at the
playing
back.
a 3 at the back.
Right. Okay. You go first. Let's go with you
Hart
first.
and goals.
Joe Hart and goals. Okay.
I'm still sticking with Tavernier.
Go with Tavernier.
No, I'm still sticking with Tavernier. Is this including injured players as well, or who's available?
Yeah,
Aye.
just available in the
Right,
squads.
Carter Vickers and Starfelt, Taylor, McGregor, Hatate, Cantwell. I'm going to put Cantwell in there. It's over.
Over Tillman.
Aye, 100%. The one I'm debating is either O'Reilly or Moy. I'm leaving it for Cantwell, but do you know what? I'm not having 10 players in 10 Celtic, I'm sorry. And Cantwell's been good. It has, so I think that's fine.
Can I quiz him now?
Let it pick his front 3.
I think that's
Kyogo up front, Jota on the left,
It made it.
and it's down to 2 players. It's either
Sakala.
Abada or Scott Wright. We'll go with Abada.
That was
Only-
weird.
How many? Right, hold on. Quiz time. How many games has Campbell had?
16.
16. Aye.
Wait, what? He's had
Look,
16 games.
Aye, and he has been good. Like he's not had a bad game for Rangers yet. He's been the best at the 2 signings in
He's been
January.
very good.
He's been the best two. He's been the best signing at the 2 between him and Raskin. Raskin's had a couple of terrible games.
Aye, so bear in mind we're not picking them over the course of the season. We're picking them as they are in terms of their form and ability just
Right,
now.
right.
So I think that's a strong enough team. Fair enough. It's
That team would win the league.
pretty close to what I would, I guess, you'd have picked. So what's yours?
Hart, Johnston, Starfelt, Vickers, Taylor, McGregor, Hatate, O'Reilly, Jota, Kyogo, Maida.
Just a full Celtic team.
Mate, they've been pants. Pin out. I can't say it. Big Tav Penny or whatever you want to call
Oh, don't start with
That's
this,
a
man.
bad. That's
It's
bad.
not
Pat.
about right.
Don't
I'll be
start
realistic.
with this.
I'll take my hat off. Right. So Joe Hart and goals.
No,
I'd
but no,
go-
you don't get the.
I
Aye,
was
you've
taking
picked
them
your
at-
team. You've
you've
picked your
picked your
team,
team.
so you need to.
That's fine.
Your
mate.
bottles
Quiz me on it. Quiz me
So
on
what
it.
were you going to change?
Treble.
Right, that's fine.
It's hard to argue with that in fairness.
It's pretty hard.
I'm
I would just the only reason I'd love to see Tav in a back five. I'd just always love to see it. But I'm not going to pick a back five. But I would just love to see it. To see.
No, pick you
No,
what you want.
I
not
would
what
actually.
we want.
I would love to see.
You're obviously talking to somebody else because I'm right. Right. I'm going to go with Joe Hart, James Tavernier.
He said like we did at Celtic Park. Number 5.
You playing a back five, yeah? 5-2-3, or you playing a back 4?
3-5-2.
I'm trying to decide, but we'll go back. We'll go 4-3-3. Yeah.
I was going to say because if you're going to play
Wait,
back
hold
five,
on,
we're going
who'd
to
you
take
say,
one
Tavernier?
midfielder out for.
Aye, I'm gonna go Tav, Starfelt, Carter Vickers. I actually think Goldson's had a decent season, to be fair.
Yes.
And Starfelt makes me nervous, but he's had a cracking season, so
It's
I'll
not
probably
even
go Starfelt. It makes me nervous. I'm just being honest.
I'm going to say
I'm not
this.
saying he's bad.
I'm going to say this. I genuinely think Goldson's has a better season than Starfelt, but the only reason why I chose him is because him and Carter Vickers beside each other is too
That's a
good.
great force.
And I don't want to.
Was it the semi-final at Starfelt? When is that semi-final? But stepping out. People say he's so uncomfortable on the ball. At the start.
Cruyff
Does this
turning his
day
own
do it?
box.
Sorry, I'm cutting you up here.
Sorry, it does look uncomfortable. You can't say it doesn't look uncomfortable. It does.
He's 6'4" running with the ball. Like, he's
You,
gone.
you go through your team, then we'll quiz you on it.
Greg Taylor. I've got to put Moy in because the 5 months or the 4 or 5 months that Moy had, he was untouchable. So I put Moy in.
Attack McGregor.
Aye, Hatati McGregor. I love O'Reilly, but I love the way O'Reilly plays. But aye, Hatati McGregor, Jota Kyogo, and I think Sakata's had a solid season.
Not.
So you're not picking him based on his season, you're picking him based on his quality and ability that you feel he would bring to your team.
No, Sakata's got more ability than Jota, so I'm joking. Maeda. But if Abada had played a wee bit more this season and I'd seen a wee bit more, I'd probably.
So I've got one question for you. The only one quiz question I've
It
got
was
for
a
you is
joke.
why no Starfelt? Why no Starfelt in your team?
I put stuff.
He put Starfelt.
Who was your back four?
I think I
Tavernier,
said I think
Carter
Goldson's had a
Vickers.
really good season, but starting and he.
Oh, so,
mentioned-
okay, cool, no, that's fine.
I don't know why O'Reilly should be in the team. See when Cal was out for those months, who stepped up in the 6 and
O'Reilly.
who played unbelievable? O'Reilly.
O'Reilly.
Moy had a very good time. Like, what was it, 3 or 4 months?
I think both of them have had a similar spell this season.
Yeah.
Neither of them have done it for the duration. Like
No.
Cal and Hatati, they've both been. They've
I
both
just
suited
feel
best.
like
I
on ability and on what I would want in my team, O'Reilly comes in any day. I feel Moy
I
just
agree.
needs a bit of WD-40 sometimes.
I agree. No, I think I've said this before.
So no DW40.
I've said that again. Nah,
I've-
DW40.
I've said this before and. WD4.
Moving on.
I've said it again, and I'll say it. I think O'Reilly is better than Hatati. Like I don't mind saying that. I think he's got more to his game. I think he's fitter. I think
O'Reilly's
he's
better
runs.
than Hatati.
Aye, I think he's got
Think
more to
he's
his game.
fitter?
I think he's much fitter.
Oh.
Hatati always gets taken off. Always before the end of the game. He runs a lot, but you're talking about O'Reilly who wins tackles consistently in games. He gets up there, he scores. He's always in the corners. That's another threat that you need. Hatati doesn't give you that aerial presence, which Celtic always had the likes of Beaton for. The Beaton wasn't a phenomenal football player.
So is this your argument for him to be put in the team of the year?
O'Reilly definitely should be in the team of the year. He's not in mine because I'd like to say that Moyes 4 or 5 months of the season when we needed points, he was there to get his points. So I have to put him in. But I think as a player, I think O'Reilly, bar McGregor, is Celtic's best midfielder.
What is yours?
I wasn't expecting him.
Is it just a full Celtic team with Tavernier or with Johnson?
No, it's pretty much just full.
That's the Tavernier. I picked.
I've went slightly different. I would have Joe Hart as my goalkeeper. I would have Alistair Johnson at right back. I would have Goldson and Carter Vickers as the 2 centre halves. I think that gives you the option to go short and long.
I think
Goldson's
Goldson and
got a
Carter
good
Vickers
weapon.
would work even better, and I'm not. That's not even me being biased.
No, I was thinking about Ayer and Carter Vickers all day and how good that would be, but I
left
Goldson.
back,
would be
left back.
great.
I'd go Taylor. I'd have Cal sitting. I'd have Hatati in the left hand side of the midfield, and then right. I'd probably be inclined to go Aaron Moy if I'm being honest with the way that he's went this season. I would go for
No, in the season ability.
based on ability. I think
better
he's.
than O'Reilly.
I think he's better than Riley.
Aye.
Aaron Moy. Aye. So I'd go McGregor, Hatati, Moy. Off the right, I'd go Cantwell. I think he's shown he can play there. But in the Premier League, he's shown he can play there
You're
for
on left,
Rangers.
Jota, aren't you?
He's good. Left, Jota. Then through the middle, Kyogo. That's where I would go.
Is that team?
They're all
Um,
strong teams.
Can I ask a question? I seen this the other day, a debate. I was talking to you about this, and I can't wrap my head around this debate. The Edward Dembele Kyogo debate. surely Dembele has been the better striker.
See, I've said this for ages, especially between just Dembele and Edward, and I've always thought that Edward was better.
Oh,
I thought
I
that's
put
just
him third.
Oh, James.
Who,
It's
Edward?
maybe a topic for another time because James has given me the eyes that we're getting pushed for time now. So what we'll do is we'll move on to the big 3 points. And I tell you what, we could maybe even do a TikTok with that. Perfectly rated, overrated, underrated. If you want to see that, be sure to smash that like button. And if you're new around here, subscribe.
Oh, you're lovely. I love the energy.
Love that.
It's the only.
Couple of Red Bulls.
That's the only energy I've got left for the day. So this is me toning down.
That is the biggest of the 3 points.
I look.
So-
I just had to take 3 points while I look.
Big 3 points.
aye.
The
Turn your
second-
computer
He's
screen.
already.
Turn
He's
your
already
s-
seen
I
it,
know,
mate.
man.
Have you actually looked at it?
No, I promise.
Don't ruin it.
Promise I haven't.
Right. So your first clue. I started my career at Manchester City.
Right.
My second clue. I have played more minutes, and I fact checked this. I have played more minutes with Andrew Considine than anybody else in my footballing career.
Willow Flood.
Not Willow Flood, no.
That's
He
actually
did
decent,
start
yeah.
with an English team, I'm sure of it.
Is it
He did play for Man City. He played for
That's
Man
a
City
gauge.
against Man United. I like the way you thought of that, by the way. That's,
Knowledge.
but it's still not right.
Mackay Stephen.
Not Mackay Stephen.
Oh.
He sees slide away because he got it right.
Barry Robson?
man.
Not Barry Robson, no. We go
Mackay
again.
Stephen was at City, yeah?
Yes, he's
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
So
Oh, mate, I got it. I thought I got it.
Oh, somebody I know was,
Say the
ta-
quick, hurry up.
was talking about Fuzzo. And do you know what
Thurso.
just kept coming into my head?
Gary Mackay Stevens
Aye.
accent.
Aye, from
So-
Fuzzo.
I'd actually quite like to hear you do some more accents when I need to introduce
Nah,
that.
didn't think you'd be into any of that.
What accent's that?
Well, if you come across the border, you know what I'm saying?
What
And we'll come to the jam darts.
Can you do a Mexican one for
What do you mean across the border?
Nah, my friend.
Did you say Did you say across the border to go to Tynecastle?
It sounds like Carlos Pena.
Right, so the
Oh,
final segment of the show is
Jesus.
Win Your 50s, where we cover our predictions for the next round of games. I'm going to give you 5 of the next 6 fixtures. For each of these, I want a prediction for the result of the game. If you get it right, you get a point. If you get it wrong, you get nothing.
Zilch.
Then I'm going to give you the featured game of the week, and you're going to give me the first goal scorer as well as the match result. The winner, if we have one, wins 5 points.
Wonder what it's gonna be.
At the end of the season, the losers will give the winner 50 quid each.
Fantastic.
So, your first game this week, Aberdeen versus Hibs.
You go.
Going to crook what is all.
Aberdeen 3-1.
St Mirren. Oh, sorry. Aberdeen Hibs. You forgot the teams there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Aberdeen Hibs.
Is it an impression here?
He's doing impressions. Different impressions for every game.
Yeah, say none. I'm gonna go a little light one. 2-0 Aberdeen.
That was sweet to be fair.
I'm going to go one each.
One each. On to St Mirren Hearts.
St Mirren Hearts. 1-0 Hearts.
Ooh.
3-2 Hearts.
Is that Matt Lemieux?
You go.
2-0 Hearts.
Oh my god. Dundee United versus Ross County.
I think it's gonna be one each.
Yourself. 2-2.
It's gonna
The
go.
Desmond.
I was
Oh,
going to
the
go with the
double
double days.
Well, do it. Back me.
To that.
Back 'em. Yous have both bottled it.
2-2.
We
True,
didn't
true.
practice that
Desmond.
for half an hour in the car park. Just
Next game is Kilmarnock versus Livingston. The El
Oh.
Plastico.
El Plastico, man.
My favourite time of the year when I can
Where
say
is
that.
it, Kelly? Aye. Rugby Park.
Aye.
Uh,
The home team usually gets read out first, mate.
does it?
he's not been here for a while.
No an NBA.
I've not been.
Really?
Not an NBA.
Correct.
2-1 Kelly.
Wow.
That has genuinely got 1-0 Livy written out of it.
Is it?
Aye. That's what I
No.
would have said. No, no.
No, you participate in this, mate.
Nah, I don't play this one.
You
Nah,
don't like
he's-
that one?
I'm
He
not,
doesn't
I'm not
play.
losing 50 quid.
He doesn't play.
I don't need it.
Did you not participate? Did you not participate in the last podcast?
Mate, I participate.
Nobody else is gonna
every
get
Did he
one.
not participate in the last podcast?
I did, so you're in it.
You're in it.
No, that was for you. You says that you were going to take my points.
Alright, so
Because
is
you
that,
were hosting.
So is that, are we good then?
Aye, so you,
Oh.
aye.
Say
So-
nothing, bruv.
St Johnston versus Motherwell. And she's
She
fine,
did fine,
thanks.
Cool. 2-0 to the Will.
2-0 to the well. Bench.
3-1.
To who?
The home team.
Well,
St.
Johnson.
No, who they play Motherwell, sorry.
He wasn't paying attention.
I was just looking at James, he's writing a biography.
Coming soon.
St Johnstone, Motherwell off Scud Books, 4-0 Motherwell.
4-0 Motherwell.
1-0 St Johnson.
1-0 St Johnston. And your featured game of the week. So for this one, you know what I want.
Partick
Give me
Thistle, Queen and Park.
Queen of the
Rangers
Park.
versus
Queen of the Park.
Remember King and Hill's a wee guy? Right, sorry, on you go.
Rangers
Queen of
versus
the
Celtic.
3 each.
3 each. I need a first goal scorer.
Todd Cantwell.
2-0 Rangers.
2-0 Rangers. First goal
Just
scorer.
rubbing the seat.
First goal scorer.
Goldson.
I'm going to go 2-1 Rangers. I don't see Celtic no scoring.
I don't see us scoring.
I'll go with Tav.
James Tav.
You don't see us scoring, did you say?
Mate, I don't know why. I've got a feeling.
When's the last time he didn't score in a game?
Hold on.
Champions League?
Aye.
I think that might actually be a correct stat.
Aye,
by the
what
way.
is?
No,
Um,
no, we got beat after Dundee United.
St Mirren beat us 2-0.
Right, there
Dundee
you go.
United never. But St Mirren was way back in like September, so we've played Champions League games right up to Christmas. But I
No.
don't think we scored.
Real Madrid at home? Was that the last one?
No, because we never scored away from home against
Gladbach?
Leipzig.
Oh, is it Leipzig?
Shakhtar? No, he's dead. Jota.
Aye,
We
back.
scored, aye, you're right, Leipzig.
Oh!
Anyway, the final point of the big 3 points, and I've even got a bonus that I'll throw in for you if nobody gets this one, just because I feel generous tonight. I won the Scottish League Cup with Aberdeen in 2014. So I'll go over the 3 points again and give you.
Niall
some
McGinn.
Oh, not Niall McGinn.
Why have I guessed? Because he's got a clue.
No, I'll give
No,
you that at the
no,
end.
no, he doesn't.
No, I'll give him that at the end. I'll give you all that at the end
Right,
if no
so-
one gets it. So I just wanted to.
You kind of guess a new button. Tim.
Whatever.
Right,
So I just wanted to give you the 3 clues over again, right? So I started my career at Manchester City. I played more minutes with Andrew Constantine.
Joe Lewis.
Not Joe Lewis. I played more minutes with Andrew Constantine than anyone else in my career, and I won the Scottish League Cup with Aberdeen in 2014.
Who did they play in the?
Can I say?
Can I tell you? It's a secret.
I will say they did play at Celtic Park though. Is that my right in saying that?
Oh, against Dundee United.
Aye, that one.
Penalties.
Just got to push you for an answer here.
No, he's no. It's not my fault. He's jumping.
Still about 30 seconds.
Shea Logan.
Oh, he's done it at the last.
Mate, I was going to say it, man. I was thinking English players that play for, and I was like, I was going centre half.
Show
left back,
me
no,
the
right
money.
back, Shea
Money,
Logan.
money, 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 money,
I mean,
money, money, money.
I mean, you don't get money for this.
Well, I'll give you what the bonus was anyway, because you might not know this. Is
Is
just
this him dressed up as Scott Brown?
for the
I
stag do.
knew it, man! I knew it!
It's a funny story, man. So for his stag do, obviously him and Scott Brown had a
Aye.
bit of competitive
Bit of
battles,
beef.
right? Bit of beef, and
vegetarian.
his mates made him dress up as Scott Brown with a Celtic strip and Brown 8 on the back for his stag do.
That's
Aye, that's
quality,
quite
That's the
bad.
player
banner.
Andy Considine's played the most minutes with.
Aye.
That's ridiculous.
Watch
No,
my
no, that's
pals
the
on me
player
like
that
that.
Shea Logan's played most of the minutes in his career with Andrew Constantine, which makes sense because they were both there for like 10 years each, something like that.
Aye, when did Constantine was at United, wasn't he, Dundee?
Mm-hmm.
I remember the betters on a trophy day.
I won though.
Cheers, Jeff.
I was
Is that when
Constantine
Shea,
that scored.
is that when Shea Logan was a pure...
Aye, it was just kicking everybody up and down the park.
Logan gets sent
Oh, I
off
remember
and Constantine scored. Funnily
Who,
enough.
who was it? Shea Logan. Was it Mackay Stephen
No idea.
when he got sent off?
Mate, I have no clue.
No idea.
Trying to remember what game that was. It's okay. We'll continue.
Anyway, we'll be back next Friday with another episode. Head over to our TikTok accounts to have a look at us play flat chat and
Oh my
some.
god, you would have seen it already. Jamie,
Uh,
win. Dicko, win.
Ben,
Maybe no, and if you see corners then I
Do us a favour,
apologise.
right? Just don't
Head
even
over
don't even
to-
give them it.
head over to our TikTok at WirelessPod. Head over to our Instagram at WirelessPod. Make sure to subscribe if you're new around here, and don't forget to smash that like button. Thank
Cheers,
you very much,
guys.
guys.
Cheers.
Thank you.